Hello, my wonderful, beautiful broskies of the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation, and now my wonderful, beautiful bro skies, and wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. This was a request from Godspeed, Godspeed. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Mr. Godspeed, Godspeed basically wanted me to do a what if where Izuku was Gumball and Penny's child from the amazing world of Gumball. Deku was their child, and the quirks would be Cat, Shapeshifter, Rage, Super Strength, Super Speed, Weapon Summoning, and I guess there's an added boost. They also added Conquers Haki for One Piece. I don't know why, but they wanted it in there. I'm gonna put it in there. What else I'm gonna be putting in here is some stuff that is going to be completely freaking whack, like absolutely balls off the walls insane. But hey, that's from what little time I did have with the amazing world of Gumball. And that's what I would call the show. Absolutely balls to the walls insane. So this is what if Izuku was Gumball and Penny's child. It's Gumball and Penny from the amazing world of Gumball. Basically, how I'm going to do this is that basically in a world where pretty much most of the population have quirks, and that a type of quirk is called the transformation quirk. Basically, I'm going to make it to where Gumball and Penny just have transformation quirks. Very special transformation quirks. However, they are not the standalone. They're not just there to be there. Because deep off in the deep dark reaches of space, well, there's a certain space emperor just cruising around, seeing what new territory he can conquer. And this certain space emperor just so happens to run across a certain pod. And basically, this certain emperor sends out a little bit of a message towards this pod, and the pod sends a message back that it is prepared to board their vessel. And the emperor, well, he's like, okay, this was not expected, but like for there to be anyone alive in there, Because the ship that's about to board the Emperor's ship is like not much bigger, you know, than a simple little ship that Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin used to fly to Namek. And, well, basically, the person, well, finally meets this space emperor. They finally meet each other. And, well, the space emperor, he is, like, basically this person who's coming out. Looks like a cat person. Kind of like Beerus and Champa, but not. And he's wearing technology similar to that of the Tuffle race. And he says that his power is very impressive. The one that the Emperor exudes. It's definitely not like anything that he's ever seen before. However, that doesn't exactly make him Space Top Liver. As this person would soon begin to power up. However, there would also be a calm to this power. That's whenever the Emperor realized power is the same as the legendary Super Saiyan Broly whenever he was merely just an infant. A power level of 10,000. And this guy, if what he says is true, he's just warming up. And then the guy says, and whenever I get really mad, and the guy ends up with a power level that the Emperor can sense and tell is the same as the power level of a certain monkey, you know, with gold hair and those blue eyes. Bluish, greenish colored eyes. And blonde hair. Super Saiyan. Power level 300 million. Is what Frieza can feel from this guy now. And then he gets even more like sheepish whenever he hears about the fact that these little devices on his armor, there are power limiting devices. Which means that even this power right here is just a fraction of what he could truly pull off if he let loose the power limiters. If he took them off. And, you know, the little space emperor, he's like, shit. Fuck. And, well, basically, this person says that he actually has other business to attend to. That there's a certain person who looks similar to him called Gumball. And from what he's been getting, like, the intel about Gumball's life up until now, He's very disappointed. Now, of course, this certain, cat creature is from space, so Gumball couldn't have known about him. But that is not the problem here. The problem here is, well, the person says, the problem here is that Gumball is weak. You're not supposed to be weak. You've not been able to sense my power by now. It is limited by the limiters I put on my body and on my armor. And, well, the Emperor does begin to realize that the armor does indeed resemble that of Saiyan/Tuffle armor. However, this is a cat-like person with Saiyan-like/Tuffle-like armor. The Emperor thought he saw everything today. And nothing could surprise him. But damn sure as hell was he wrong. This person, he says his name. Well, that's not important right now. What's important is teaching Gumball a certain very important lesson. Do not make their kind look weak by doing what he's been doing. His power level is pathetic. A measly 22 at best. I don't care if you mind when I just spit. Stupid lizard. And the Emperor would be like, "What, excuse you?" And then the guy would just be like, "Yes, excuse me a lot because of what I'm about to do." And he would just fire at one of the engines of the ship and would just get off balance. And then he would hop into his pod and shoot out literally at blinding speeds, faster than any shooters on the ship could actually blast at him. And besides, they already have problems with one of their main engines being downed. Yes, this guy was truly not kidding about his true power. And the fact that one of his race is only a measly power level of 22... 22, his power level, at least at this state, the strongest as he can get in this state, 300 million? Gumball is making their race look pathetic. And this gets under certain person's skin. And whenever eventually this certain person lands on Earth, he lands on Earth during the All Might versus All for One fight. And the power coming off of this guy is so strong at the moment that both All Might and All for One are able to sense it, and they just blitz it all the way over there like there ain't no tomorrow. And, well, they see a ship basically made a giant crater in the ground. And then they see someone come out of the ship and land on the ground. They're cat-like in, like, their looks. And All for One is like, who the devil, like, pray, who the devil are you? And the person will just be like, why do you ask? ask, mortal? Pathetic. You only have a power level of 150 at best. And you're no better, Mr. Bunny Ears Hairdo. You only have a power level of 250 at best. Possibly 300 if you were to stretch it. But even 300 is pathetic. You two are pathetic. I guess this, you know, worthlessness just, rubbed off on my other member of our glorious species. All I would want to know who the hell this guy is and where the hell he came from. I mean, he's not from Earth. It's clear. Right away. And often would be like, yes, who the hell are you and where the hell did you come from? And the person would just simply say, I am from the planet Anubius. It's just a very weird translation of the word Anubis. Anubius. And, well, I am of the Anubi, of the planet Anubius. We are a strong, prideful race. However, not all of us stay in our home world. It appears others have decided to venture off here. Gumball. Stupid power level of 22. There, I spit on his weakness. And if you want to know my name personally, the name is Yarnball. Oh, this is going to be fun. Killing weaklings will only be fun for so long. So, don't waste my time any longer than you have and just accept your fate, weaklings. Filthy Ningen. And All For One would just get pissed and he would try to attack, but Yarnball would pop behind All For One and he would just, here's a percent. Yeah! And he would just send a blast at All For One and just get, All For One would just get atomized at the molecular level. Just destroyed completely. You'd be dead. Cadaverifically dead. And All Might would just be like, you monster. And the dude would just be like, Yarnball would just be like, me? A monster? I am a god. Like, I'm not a monster. I am a god. and he would just, like, bum rush the hell out of All Might. And that would have been the attack that actually got him his injury in this timeline. In this, series of events. Instead of All For One, All For One would have been murdered, straight up murdered. And Kirigiri, seeing as he watches all this shit go on behind the scenes, Kirigiri would have just notified Shigaraki that All For One got killed, and that there's some ridiculously powerful cat-like looking dude, and he calls himself Yarnball, and from the looks of it, he is God Mod level ridiculously powerful. And Shigaraki's like, how God Mod level ridiculously powerful? And Kirigiri's like, I'm watching now, and oh, holy shit. He trampled into All Might. God, it looked like his respiratory system got exploded from inside out. From the inside out. And Shigaraki's like, oh shit, he's a dead motherfucker. Just like a reply to that, be like, oh shit, he's a dead motherfucker. And well, so Shigaraki would basically be left to be the leader of the entire League of Villains, the true leader, because All For One just got freaking atomized at the molecular level, cellular molecular level, with one blast attack. And well, at this time, I forget how old Izuku was around the time of the All Might vs. All For One thing. Anyways, we time skip over to the start of the anime, with Izuku actually having, the status of being, very freaking, badass. It's almost like he has multiple quirks at the same time. And so he's constantly clashing with Bakugo. Bakugo is constantly clashing with him. Trying to be more superior, but Izuku's ensemble of quirks and just what they are, not really giving Bakugo much of a safe free. That's whenever the whole end of, middle school happens, and then there's a sludge villain, and after the sludge villain, and All Might saves the hell out of Izuku, because Izuku, even with all his quirks, he was kind of getting manhandled by the sludge villain. That sounded so damn wrong. Anyways, basically, the moment that Izuku finally got completely awake, All Might would have already, left, pew! And, well, the moment, Izuku regained his full consciousness, he would feel some weird sensation. And, well, whenever he would get back to his house, Gumball and Penny would both be there. Gumball would face his pillow on the couch, and he'd just be like, and Penny would just be coming down the stairs and be like, Izuku, I'm glad you're safe. And then Izuku would be like, oh, wait, shit, that was on the news? Well, a report from All Might about what happened was on the news. Can't believe you're saved by the #1 hero, the symbol of peace, All Might. And Izuku be like, Mom, why does Dad seem so upset? And Penny would just be like, I don't know. Little do they know that inside of Gumball's mind, basically, earlier this day, in Gumball's point of view, Gumball's POV, he was talking up to Darwin, his fish friend, fish bro. He was talking to Darwin, and apparently Darwin, accidentally brought up the whole thing. Everyone else was looking at, All Might and All for One duke it out. But it turns out, at the area where the pod landed, Darwin just so happened to be chilling. I'm not gonna be saying what he was doing, but he was chilling. Just to say that he was chilling like a villain. And so, since he was at that area, whenever the pod crashed down, it was like doo-doosh, like doo-doo-doo-doo-doosh, and just shook the whole world. He saw person, and he even heard the entire encounter, like All for One, All Might, and this person who called themselves, apparently their name is Yarnball. And, well, from whatever, Darwin was sensing, apparently this dude was really freaking scary, because, Darwin several times, through their conversation, pause, he was actually very scared, because he didn't know if, he was directly going to come after them, or if he was gonna wait a while, like this guy, this Yarnball motherfucker. And, well, the sad thing about that is, halfway into the call, a good halfway into the call, Gumball could actually hear someone else talking, and that's weird because these days Darwin lives alone. Around these days, Darwin living by himself, so there shouldn't be anyone else that he could hear, on the phone. And they were they were really audible, almost as if they were right behind Darwin when he was talking to Gumball. And Gumball actually does try to address this to Darwin, but around that time, he hears a voice say, "Why, hello, Gumball. Seems you're weak as ever. I am Yarnball, and you will die." Do you want to hear what one of my magic tricks sounds like? Come here, fishy boy. I want to feed you to the cats. It's a good thing he is not too familiar with the smell of chloroform, or else that might not have worked. Well, I know where I'm taking this big sack of meat. Big cat's part of the zoo. And I hope whatever remains of him that you find there will at least be able to feel something, as it will be the last thing you ever feel. I am Yarnball, and I am going to kill you. Just know this. Your weakness disgusts me. And it is because of your weakness that you will die. And so will your friends and your wife. And I heard rumors that you're starting a family, a full-fledged family. Your kid too. He's gonna die too. Just letting you know that. And that's why Gumball will be so frustrated. Because he basically did end up going to the big cat's part of the zoo, like the big cat resort thing. And Yarnball was not lying. He literally fed Darwin to the cats. And Darwin was unconscious because he had basically chloroformed him. And he just dropped him in there, and the big cats ate him alive. Yes, this Yarnball guy is evil to the core. And, you know, Gumball well, he would never really know whenever this Yarnball guy was gonna come around to attack. And so he was always under, like, stress. And the reason why he never told Penny about this whole Yarnball thing is, well, he didn't want to get her involved in this. Like, he knows that they're supposed to be a family, but, hello, she's pregnant. And, other hello, this guy is literally, it seems like nothing phases him. Like, from the little bit that he did get to hear from this guy, whenever he was on the phone, it seems like he was the kind of guy which nothing would faze him. Like, not ever. And so, like, Gumball's just trying to look for a solution to all this crazy BS. And so that's why he's so frustrated. And, you know, was having a mental breakdown. Because he's looking for a solution, but no solution is showing up. And all of a sudden, you know, basically, seeing as basically Izuku graduated, you know, middle school, they want to do a celebration. Basically, they were going to do a celebration for Izuku graduating high school, like a high school graduation celebration. I'm not exactly sure if I meant for that to rhyme or not, but whatever. However, while they're doing this celebration, you know, they're out, they're doing shit, they're having a gay old time. A loud explosion is heard off in the distance. Now, Penny isn't thinking of much, because they know the Bakugo family, like the Bakugo household, and their kid Bakugo, who likes to at least try and bully Izuku in this, but he's never really all that successful because of just how, like, insane Izuku's quirk is in this. And they know about the kid, like, he can literally set off explosions anytime. So they aren't really all that alarmed. Well, at least Penny isn't all that alarmed. Izuku doesn't know anything about what's actually going on behind the scenes. But Gumball, he's actually stressed the frick out. And is like, oh shit, is that him? And he gets his answer in the form of, basically, Penny is spurting blood out the mouth after there's one explosion sound that sounds really close to where they are. And Gumball is like wondering, like, why the hell is she? And then he looks at her chest. There's a hole through it. Burned straight through it. A blast of energy. And then someone finally hovers down and finally onto the ground, meeting eye level with Gumball. This person he can only presume to be. No. Not now. Not this. You just had to show up at this time. If you are who I think you are, that is. Yarn ball. And he would just be like, not just me. However, well, I guess that Lizard's forces could indeed be considered useful enough to be put aside to my name. And, well, Penny would slowly start to fall to the ground, but then Izuku would catch her and be like, Dad, what's going on? And Gumball would be like, not now, Izuku. You need to go get your mother to... And then all of a sudden, it's just like, yeah, not happening. And Yarnball would just kick Gumball into the face. And he would just go tumbling, like, poof, 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 poof. And it would just be like, men, ready the blasters. 3, 2, 1. Fire. Choo 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 choo. And then the blasters would just raid. And Gumball would just have like several holes through him, but he'd still be trying to cuff out, Izuku, your mother, her too. And then, you know, Yarnball would just pop up in front of Izuku, kick him to the ground, and stomp out, like literally stomp on Penny's neck so hard that she would cough up her own larynx. And then just automatically die. And, you know, this would make Gumball pissed. And he would try to get up, but he'd just be like, how... 1 hour. And then he would just be like, shh. Hush, my friend. Your death shall soon come enough. Now, keep your eye on the birdie. And instantly he would have, obliterated most of, the physical matter that was Gumball. And Izuku would just still be on the ground because Yarnball kicked Izuku pretty damn hard. And he would just be about to, vaporize vaporize Izuku, and he would charge straight in, but then all of a sudden he would hear Mississippi Smash! And BAM! He would just be sent flying. Because I'm gonna say that in between the whole All Might Off 1 and Yarnball thing, All Might had been doing some training, and he was up to about a power level of 500. But that's only if he's straining it to get the most out of each attack. And that's basically what he was trying to do so that he'd actually be able to damage Yarnball. That's whenever Yarnball reveals to him, well, what he revealed to the lizard. Or at least what he calls the lizard. I'm tired of waiting. Time to reveal to you why you should fear me. Why all should fear me. And all of a sudden, there will just be this massive wave of bloodlust and killing intent coming off of Yarnball. But Izuku would have eventually gotten up, and, well, he would have awoken some strange power, which would have caught Yarnball off guard, but would have also kind of paralyzed All Might. And with this crazy power, just by flexing, he tossed Yarnball halfway across the entire area where they were at. And he, smashed into, freaking mountain range. He just, freaking flexed him halfway across the freaking mountain range into, the final thing and just, blew up. Everything just blew up and all the debris fell on him and exploded whenever it did. Yeah, that was, a massive flex. And it actually sent All Might hurling the opposite direction through some cars and literally bouncing off the sidewalk. And you would actually go through some concrete and, steel buildings all the way straight through, a bridge, and then, land face first. Right against some asphalt and shit. Just scraping up his face. And whenever Izuku would stop flexing the shit out of everybody, in sight, anybody who wasn't Izuku, Yarnball, or All Might in that situation, well, pretty much Gumball and Penny are already dead, so basically anybody who wasn't Izuku, All Might, or Yarnball in that situation had already passed out due to the insanity of this crazy power that Izuku had acquired. It was sort of like some sort of super energy, and it just collapsed everything that was any of them. They just folded under this righteous, holy shit power. And even like the freaking soldier dudes with the blasters, they just like got folded 17 ways to Sunday and like sent in all different directions up into space, where basically as soon as they hit like the point to where there's no oxygen left, their insides would just explode from the massive change in pressure, and everything would just be bloody mess after bloody mess. And, well, then Izuku would, like, finally stop, and then he would just try to move a limb, but then he would just, like, freaking zonk out completely. And, well, with all that crazy shiz, oh boy. Oh boy, indeed. And basically, whenever Izuku would wake up, he would be in a hospital, but it would look abandoned. Then he would see someone, he would see them, he would wonder what they were doing out here. And the person, they would reveal themselves to be Fuyumi Todoroki. And Izuku would be like, what are you doing out here, Fuyumi? Shouldn't you be with your family? And, well, Fuyumi would just posit that. And, well, it would almost be like something had happened to Izuku's, like, a part of his quirk. Because, like, a part of his quirk was weapon summoning. That he could summon weapons. Like, create them out of whatever. And he's starting to find that he created a weapon, but it doesn't look like one. Like, he knows that like, the creation aspect that he has is only weapon summoning, so why does it look like a fruit? And whenever he would touch the fruit, he would hear a name. The Metanomi. And he would also hear the name Fire Fist Ace. And, well, Izuku would just be like, okay. And then Izuku's like, should I eat it, though? And Izuku just ends up making 2 more fruits. But they look different, but they all have the same thing, which is whenever Izuku touches them, they say, like, the name of the fruit, and, like, the last person to have that ability. Like, fruit. Like, thing. And, you know, the 2 other fruits that he makes... The two other fruits that he makes, he touches the second one, and the second one says, Doku Doku no Mi. And it says, it also says, Magellan. And something about an impel down. And, well, the third fruit that he touches basically says something about a thriller bark, but it says the name is the Kage Kage no Mi, and the person, they are known as Gecko Moria. So, he has three different fruits. The Mero Mero no Mi, the Doku Doku no Mi, and the Kage Kage no Mi. Basically, the Flame Flame fruit, the Venom Venom fruit, and the Shadow Shadow fruit. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, why I'm giving them these three specifically, why I'm even giving him a devil fruit at all, well, if Conquers Haki is going to be in this, and yes, that's what just happened, that energy wave thing that he did, that knocked back Yarnball, and All Might, that was Conquers Haki. This first instance of it. But seeing as the devil fruit powers could technically be considered weapons, I'm gonna, do a little bit of tweaking the rules and say that seeing as the powers they give people could be considered weapons, that the fruits themselves, the devil fruits themselves, could also be considered weapons, seeing as they give them that power that is considered like a weapon. So I'm technically unscrewing the pooch, if you think about it. And, well, basically every time, like, he takes a slice out of the Mero Mero no Mi, takes a slice out of the Doku Doku no Mi, and takes a slice out of the Kage Kage no Mi. And the reason why I chose these fruits specifically, well, Fire Fist Ace, like, the Fire Fist is awesome. For one, like, the Fire Fist is just freaking awesome. And Fire Fist Ace is awesome. And, well, the Doku Doku no Mi is Magellan, like the Ward of Impel Down's devil fruit. And it's basically poison. Like poison manipulation. And so I think that's pretty badass. And what else is pretty badass? The ability to manipulate shadows in all sorts of colorful and inventive ways, as Gecko Moria does. Or dead. I don't know if he's still alive now. Some characters like Big Mom are still alive, I think. Anyways, basically takes a slice out of 3 different fruits, and he pokes a little thing through, and just he's just like, that shit is disgusting. But this will give him some sort of magical holy shit level of new power that will ultimately lead him on a path. Well, basically, leading him on a revenge path, like, basically kind of turn him into, like, Sasuke. Like, basically Deku Sasuke. He's going to be fixated on revenge because he knows that that couldn't have killed Yarnball. That the amount of power that was being sensed off of him, there's no way that that alone could have killed Yarnball. So he's like, I will find him, and the next time I find him, I will kill him. You basically got that, like, Sasuke obsession with, like, revenge and shit. And, well, I mean, come on, like, I couldn't resist. Like, if you're gonna make me give this character Haki, I'm gonna want to give them a devil fruit. Or 3 devil fruits, because why the hell not? There's 3 different types of Haki. And, well, basically, Izuku has some fun times with, like, all of his different abilities, and he ends up figuring out the hard way that he can no longer swim. However, whenever you can basically become fire to the point where you basically evaporate all the water, and so you're no longer drowning, that isn't much of a problem, because Ace could literally turn into fire. Logia types can basically turn into whatever elements that they are from, like, their devil fruit. And that's basically the thing that Logia types can do. And Ace was a Logia type thing. Ace's devil fruit to the Mero Mero no Mi. And, well, Izuku would find this as, like, the only sort of thing he could do. He would give the remains of his parents a proper burial next to each other in a lover's pose. And he'd be like, he'd just be praying, like, and then he would leave, burning his entire house to the ground, leaving nothing behind but sorrow, pain, suffering, and just self-loathing, everything that comes with all of the feelings that he was feeling. And, well, on the way, Izuku would pick up on a little something. It's almost as if that one encounter with Yarnball had allowed him in on something. Something that Yarnball could do. Yarnball could sense the power level of someone. And after influencing Yarnball with Conquers Haki, he seems to have been able to adapt to Yarnball's power, and he can now sense energy signatures. Even put a number down onto them, just like how Yarnball did, calling it power levels. He could sense strong power levels. Oh boy. This is bad. Seems that someone figured out about the little scuffle and the burst of Conquers Haki, and they seem to basically be like, yo, you got your ass kicked by this kid? Like, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Even though Yarnball Izuku's able to sense that Yarnball is actually a lot stronger than this person, but they're still strong in their own right. Their power level is literally 5,000. And considering All Might's power level in this is only up to 500, and that's if he's straining. And this guy has a power level of 5,000. Izuku's like, before this guy gets here, I'm gonna have to train really fast and really hard. I gotta do something. And the name of this person with a power level of 5,000, currently speeding off towards planet Earth, as basically Yarnball's still there, but he's having to recover from that blast of Conquerors Haki. Seems to have, messed him up a good deal. And so this person, like, heading towards Earth against, like, the warning, the words of warning from Yarnball himself, like, don't do this, you're gonna end up regretting it. Basically, against, Yarnball's words of warning, this person, their name, Catnip. Yes, another of the Anubi. Catnip, he has plans for this little dust bowl of a planet that they call Earth. Wait, it's not pronounced Earth? Ah, shit. Just tell Dark Shadow Maverick to end the video already. Oh, wait. I'm not allowed to break the fourth wall? Well, screw you, cameraman. Wait, there's no cameraman? Who the frick am I talking to? The pizza guy? Well, screw me and a dyke. Ugh. Anyways, Dallas, this is Dark Shadow Maverick. Is probably OT out of here. Like, whatever. What's Dark Shadow Maverick's outro again? Oh, something about bouncing like it's Quidditch and eat, and this guy is literally a living meme. Good God, how do these people even watch him? Sometimes I hate the fact that I'm the character created by this guy. Whatever. Anyways, bye, you flesh bags. Worthless flesh bags.